Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog. So
rotate my stylist. Brokenness feeling like sin. Now no breath, low dollar. Used to be left on red. Now all the girls go holler.
all right, you guys, first story up. Well, it hasn't been that much of an eventful week, but we've had a few things happen. First story we're going to talk about is the young lady by the name of Lizzo Ashley. Why do I feel like that's a typo? I don't feel like, I think it was Lizzie. It might have been Lizzie Ashley. Lizzie Ashley is a girl who was walking down the street in New York, minding her own damn business. And then she was accosted by New York attorney Andrew Orlick, who decided that it would be a good idea and maybe perhaps funny to snatch off her green afro wig that she had on at the time. He did not know her. They didn't have any prior words from what I understand. He simply yanked her wig off that was secured down with combs into her own head. And if you guys are a wig wearer, or even if you're not, you can imagine how painful that can be when somebody snatches something that is adhered to your head, just snatches it off. Okay. Not only is it painful, but it's humiliating. It's embarrassing. You're on a public street. You're in New York. So there's many people that are out also that could see this happening. And he just decided that it would be funny to do it. Now, nobody else thought it was funny. Ashley didn't think, well, not Ashley. Lizzie didn't think it was funny. And neither did his friends that were with him. Now, she started videotaping right after he had snatched the wig off, as she was yelling at him, why would he do this in the first place? And he had that look. I don't know if you guys have seen that look before, but I have, as a black woman, seen many white men have this same expression. It's kind of a smirk. It's kind of a whatever, like, what's the big deal? It's like you're just reacting as your ghetto self would with this green wig on. You know, you can imagine what was going through his mind at the time. He simply didn't care. And while she was upset, beyond upset, she was screaming. I think she probably got even more because of his nonchalant attitude. But between her asking him why he did it and his friends begging him to apologize, he kept on saying, for what? Okay, what did he do? I don't know, maybe pulled this wig off of this woman's head. You have this woman screaming at you. You obviously did something. People don't just scream at you for nothing. Okay. So she was yelling. She was screaming. She went on to TikTok. She uploaded this video. Honey, the TikTok sleuths, the investigators of social media, it don't take no time. It don't take any time to figure out who somebody is. I mean, if you got a clear enough picture of a person, and she didn't just have a picture, she had a video of him. So, I mean, it was just a matter of time before somebody identified him. I think she said within 12 hours, they had identified who he was, where he worked. She was so upset. She said she didn't really know what she was supposed to do about this. I guess the people that were advising her in her comments told her that she needed to go to the police and get a police report. So she did do that. She went to the police, got the police report. The police told her to go to the doctor, just make sure everything was okay. She did go to the doctor. The doctor told her that she has like tension in her neck just from being like yanked around, because apparently he had to push it forward and pull it back a couple of times before he was able to get it off. And so kind of probably like whiplash. I know people kind of feel like that might not be that big of a deal, but if somebody is yanking your head back and forth like that, especially if you were not even prepared for it, if this is coming out the blue, your body is not tensed up enough to even, absorb that shock. So I'm sure her head was going all around like that. I mean, he could have done some real damage to her. But she said that she did get the report. She did go to the doctor. She didn't really know what would happen next. I said, ma'am, what happens next is you can sue him. You can press charges. I mean, he attacked you. Yes, there are way worse attacks, but an attack is an attack nonetheless. And that's what he did. But I don't know if she's going to take it any further. We did find out within 24 hours that the law firm that he works at, he's an associate litigator at Leader, Birkin, Kaleo and Silverstein LLP up in New York. They, with the quickness, got rid of him. I don't know why people do these things. I don't know why folks do these things just for the sake of doing something funny. I mean, social media ought to have you know that your job is going to be in jeopardy. That's the first thing that somebody is coming for, is your job. Okay? And obviously, Mr. Orlick did not know that. Now, the firm released a statement. It says, "We have been aware of a video of a non-work related incident involving one of our associates circulating on social media. We take seriously any inappropriate behavior by any employee, whether inside or outside the workplace. This associate is no longer with the firm." Honey, these businesses is not fucking with y'all, okay? This is a clear case of when you fuck around and you find out, okay? Because why did you even do that? It was not necessary. It didn't change the scope of your day, I'm sure. Maybe he got a little giggle out of it, but even after his friends was like, please just apologize, he had to have known that maybe what he did was not a good idea, okay? And yeah, people come after your jobs. These jobs don't want to be associated with shit like this no more. No bad publicity, especially a fucking law firm. Like, he had to have known that his days was numbered, and honey, within a day, they had done got rid of old attorney Andrew Orlick. So yeah, if she does decide to press charges, I mean, she obviously has a case. I mean, we saw it happening. It's on video. But maybe she might just be okay enough with the man losing his job. I mean, he's a lawyer. He didn't lose his license. He will be able to practice still, so he'll find another job, I'm sure. But yeah, let that be a lesson to you. You know, people just be doing whatever the fuck, don't care, think that it's okay, think that it's funny. Quickly do you learn that no, that is not the case. So I am glad that she took the action that she did. In this case, social media, you know, they always gonna come through in a pinch, the investigators, that is, and they did help her out. Hopefully her neck is doing well. And from what I understand, the girl is a musician. Now, I hadn't gone on her TikTok and all that. But I do remember seeing somebody say that her music, in the comments when I was looking at it on Instagram, I saw that somebody said that, you know, her music was good. So apparently she's a singer or she's some sort of musician, and she has some of her work on her TikTok page. So maybe this will help blow her up a little bit, put her name out there, even though it's negative. You know, sometimes we can flip a negative into a positive. So hopefully, you know, that her story will, maybe this is the jump off point to her career. So if that is the case, you know, we can always find a silver lining on that cloud, can't we? So, but I am glad to hear that she is okay. Also glad to hear that Orlick did suffer the consequences of his actions. And at least in this case, justice was served. Moving on to the next story.
All the girls gon' follow, all the fake fans gon' pile up. I need peace to borrow, get that shit right back tomorrow.
All right, you guys, so I didn't want to start off with a shooting story because they are just so depressing. At least there is, again, some silver lining that we can talk about in this case. This case is the Hollywood Beach shooting that happened on Memorial Day afternoon/evening. So apparently the people were at Hollywood Beach. It's a popular tourist attraction. They have a boardwalk there. You know, you can walk along the beach, and there's restaurants and little boutiques and stores, and you know, just like how the boutiques, I mean, how the boardwalks will be at many beaches around America. Okay. And as you can imagine, it's Memorial Day, so there were a lot of people out enjoying their day, either laying on the beach or walking the boardwalk. They say that there were two groups of people at Margaritaville. That's a restaurant that is on the boardwalk there. There was two groups of people that were arguing. It started inside of the restaurant apparently, but it spilled out onto the boardwalk. And then next thing you know, someone pulled out a gun and started shooting. And you know, the minute you hear, especially today, the minute you hear the first pop of a gun going off, you already know everybody is taking off running. So when you see the video, you see everybody just running, trying to get away. At the end of that melee, 9 people got shot. Nobody got killed. Okay, so that is a blessing, you guys. I mean, we got to start taking wins whenever we can, because motherfuckers are still gonna shoot. Okay, that is obvious. We talk about it every week, but I mean, if we can get to a week where nobody is killed with the shooting, I mean, I guess we'll take that. Now, there are 6 of the 9 that, well, I'm not sure if they're still in the hospital now, but when I was reading the article yesterday, they were still in the hospital. 6 people were, injured enough to need to stay in the hospital longer than 1 day. 3 others were already released. And they said 4 minors between the ages of 1 and 17 were shot. 5 adults between the ages of 25 and 65 were shot or injured. Okay. And, that could be just from people running. Folks get trampled. Older people can't run as fast as younger people, might be in the way, tripping, falling, all of that. They said people were running on the beach, running to their cars, just trying to get away from flying bullets. Okay, they said people were running actually into the water, hoping that, if they dug down in the water that they wouldn't be hit. It's just terrible. It's holiday time. You take your kids out to the beach. And this is the kind of shit that happens. I mean, it got to the point now where when it's holidays and things like that, it kind of makes you not want to go somewhere where there's a big group. You would rather go now when there's not a big group, when there's not a big attraction, and you can just go out there and relax with your family. But, I mean, you never really know. You just don't know. You don't know. Now, they're saying that, there were 2 people that was arrested, Keyshawn Stewart and Morgan DeSlouches, both 18 years old, okay? They were arrested in connection with the shooting after being found with firearms in their backpacks. There were witnesses that saw people, stashing guns in backpacks and trying to, I guess, blend in with the rest of the crowd. The police was still able to get 2 of these men. I think they said there are 3 more people that are attached to the shooting that they are looking for. It's just a matter of time before they get them, because there was a lot of camera footage. People nowadays, one thing that's very hard to do is get away with something, because if it's not surveillance cameras and you're somewhere where there's a lot of people, somebody's going to have their phone out. Okay. It's always one. All right. Even if everybody is running and shit, somebody is going to catch that shit on video, provided to the police. And like I said, it's just a matter of time. And they need to find them, because why can't we go to the damn beach on Memorial Day weekend without the threat of being shot and killed? It makes absolutely no sense, but nothing makes sense these days, y'all. Nothing. I mean, folks is just shooting. And it has become obviously a part of American culture. It's something that's not going away. And I guess we just got to figure out better ways to stay out of the shooting. I mean, if you got a good way, if you know how to make that happen, short of, I mean, really the only way to stay away from being shot is staying home. Okay? That's really the only way that you can ensure that you and your family are safe. It ain't too much fun, especially on holidays, especially with it now about to be hot and people wanting to get out and travel and things. Yeah, it's not a fun alternative, but I don't know. I don't know. I just worry. I worry about my kids, my grandkids that might, eventually come. It's just too bad. It's too bad. The world is so totally different. I feel so sorry for this generation. I mean, there are some great things that happen, for this new generation, but there are some horrible things that come along with being part of this generation too. And the shooting, and that just becoming a part of the norm for everybody, this generation and continuing on. It's really too bad. So hopefully you guys were not out there at Hollywood Beach. I know I have Roxstars down that way. Hopefully none of you guys were affected, none of your loved ones were affected, none of your, people, anybody that you knew were affected. And hopefully they catch the other three. That's all I got on that, you guys. Prayers up for the community of Hollywood Beach, though. Just another city that's been traumatized now. Who's next?
All the fans go bravo, smile so much to hide my sorrows. Faith is shaky in vibrato.
All right, you guys. Next story up, Little Mermaid. So Little Mermaid did open this past weekend. They had scheduled it for Memorial Day weekend. That used to be between Memorial Day and 4th of July weekends. Those used to be very big box office days. I mean, they still turn out to be big box office days. Remember when Will Smith owned 4th of July weekends? Like, whenever he had a movie coming out, it always came out on that weekend because he knew everybody was coming. So yes, studios try to put out their movies that they've invested a lot in marketing, the making of the movie, all of the celebrities, the stars that's in the movie, the PR, everything is they put that out there on Memorial Day weekend, and it's a big splash. Now, they've been having quite a few premieres. I've seen one at Disneyland or Disney World. I know they had one in Hollywood. I saw one across seas, I think over in London or Paris. They've been definitely on the go, premiering and promoting this movie, and it looks like it has paid off. So the animation of Little Mermaid, if you guys don't remember, it debuted in 1989. It was a big time box office hit for Disney. Even back then, this has become one of their classics, along with Snow White and Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast and Frozen, and you can think of all of the Disney classics, the animations. Well, now they are turning a lot of their animated movies into live action movies. Okay. And that has been a big hit for Disney, so it looks like it's going to continue on. We know that they've done it for Cinderella. They've done it for recently Beauty and the Beast, where the singer, did play Belle. Then now we have Halle. Is it Holly or Hamza? I think it's Halle Bailey, who is playing the mermaid. What's her name? Ariel in this movie. Yeah, Disney seems to be committed to doing this. I think I saw that their next live action that they're going to do, what was it? I can't remember who it is, but it's a black lead, and I was just like, ooh, Disney is wearing these white folks out. I know they got a problem, with the fact that Disney is putting these black people in at historically white characters. But I mean, a mermaid is not real, so a mermaid can be whatever. I mean, first of all, it's fiction, so anybody can be whatever the fuck. It's fiction. It's called not real, made up. But now Little Mermaid, yes, it has been historically a white character. That does not mean that it has to be a white character. It's a mermaid. Mermaids don't really exist, so I'd imagine a mermaid can be pink, blue, yellow, black, green, orange, purple, pink. I said pink already. But I mean, they can be any color that they are. This one happens to be black. There were a lot of people that have a problem with that, obviously. The black people have been quite pleased, okay? And it's been good to see. Now, Disney hasn't had any black princesses. We call them princesses. It's usually when whatever the lead of the movie is, we will consider them a Disney princess. The only movie that Disney has done where they actually had a black princess is The Lady and the Frog. Okay. Other than that, we haven't had any movies with Disney that have had black princesses as leads. So, Disney is stepping out the box by opening it up and making it equal opportunity for anybody. And like I said, specifically placing Black women in those leads. So yeah, good for her. I'm telling you, this is that girl's season. This is that girl's season. And she's so humble and just so sweet. I love her. She's been added to my list. There's only a few celebrities that I have a list of that I really, really genuinely admire, and we'll put her over there on that list as well. So let me give you guys the numbers. This release brought in $95.5 million over the Memorial Day weekend. Okay, that would be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, that's considered the weekend leading up to Memorial Day, so they call that Memorial Day weekend. By the time Memorial Day ended on Monday that night, it had brought in $117.5 million. Okay, so that is good. It's the 5th biggest Memorial Day weekend released ever. And so far the movie has made, I guess as of yesterday when I was reading the articles, $185.8 million. So yes, the movie is doing very well, because there were a lot of naysayers that said that it wouldn't do as well as many of the other Disney premieres. I didn't check to compare the two. I think most people were wondering how it would do when it compared against Aladdin, since the Aladdin star, was it Aladdin? I believe it was the guy that was it Aladdin or was it Mulan? I think it was Aladdin, but you guys know the star, the guy that was from that movie had said that he didn't think that it would do as well as Aladdin did, because there was a different type of fandom and support for the Aladdin movies than it was for not Beauty and the Beast, The Little Mermaid. Okay, so yeah. This was a good opening for Disney. They still haven't made back the money that it took to make the movie though. So until that happens, we'll see. I believe they will make it. So the movie cost $250 million to make. So, that means that in order for it to really, really be something that they profited from, they've got to get over that $250 million mark. Like I said, I believe that they will make it, but there's a couple of big movies coming up these next couple of weeks, and so it's going to be interesting to see how well Little Mermaid does. Now we have Spider-Man, the new Spider-Verse movie that's happening this weekend. That movie is gonna blow the shit out the water, because those Spider-Verse movies are great. Okay. And then the following week we have Transformers, which is also a big box office draw. That's a franchise that goes on, and a lot of people go to that. So Little Mermaid does have a lot of competition. I would think that the audiences will be a little bit different, and so people will still, go, if you're planning on going to see Little Mermaid, it'll still help. I felt bad that I didn't get to see it this past weekend. I felt like I wasn't doing my part to support, but I definitely am going to go this weekend. Try to drag Jada if I can get her, her work schedule and my schedule to line up. But I do want to see the movie. I do want to support. I want to, make sure that my few little dollars is added to the pot. But did you guys see the movie? What did you guys think about the movie? I've heard great things about it. Of course, I have heard some criticisms about it as well. I kind of take all that with a grain of salt, especially when it's a movie that's as controversial as something like this. These type of movies are something that you have to see for yourself, and then you can make the determination. But whatever it is, I'm going to support, because we need for these type of movies to do well, so that they can continue to put people in these characters that they normally would not put, but do deserve that, they deserve to be that, to get the part. So yeah, you guys, y'all let me know what you thought about it. I saw a lot of people that were out there on Instagram and their stories that had went to the movies to go see it. And all the people that I know have given it great reviews. It's just the critics. You know how it goes. People that look at movies for criticism as opposed to just enjoying the movie, it's different. You have to look at it from a different lens and all of that. So, I get it. just from reviewing shows and all. You don't always get to just sit back and enjoy. But what I have seen is that everybody gives Holly, everybody gives her the thumbs up. They say that her voice is pristine. They say that, you know, she does a great job of portraying the characters. It's just certain parts of the movies they have said have fallen flat. I don't care. I will still be going. You guys let me know what you thought about the movie, though. Did you enjoy it? Did you take your little babies to go see it? Or your grown babies? Because I even know there were some grown folks and their kids that was going as well. So, yeah, y'all let me know what you thought about the movie. Congratulations, though, to Hallie and the rest of the team there. Looks like it's going to do what it's supposed to do.
I can't hold a frown too long. I can't stay down too long.
All right, you guys, next story up. So, you know, every now and then we got to have a story about Peter Thomas. You know, he works out a way to end up in these blogs one way or the other, child. This one ain't quite so positive. I mean, are they ever? That Peter stay in some shit, child. So anyway, some woman named Candy, not to be confused with Candy Buress Tucker, our beloved out here in Atlanta. But one of his employees named Candy, she used to work for him in the Bar One in Miami. She said that Peter owes her $1,400 in unpaid wages, and she want her fucking money. So apparently Candy decided that she was about to go get her money, and damn it, she was not leaving until it was done. So she turned on her trusty cell phone to record, and she walked into the establishment. As soon as she walked in the restaurant, the general manager saw her with this phone and walked away. She was like, that's fine, you can walk away if you want to. I'm gonna sit here and we gonna wait. You know, if you call the police, I'm gonna wait for the police. They can come too. I'm not leaving till I get my $1,400 fucking dollars. So, you know, she's going on and on. She's talking about Peter Thomas and how he's a scammer and how he be bouncing checks and not paying people for the services that they have rendered. And so she was unhappy about that. I mean, you can imagine $1,400 is not a little bit of money. Fuck, I don't give a damn if it's $14. I want my money if I'm supposed to get my money. So, I mean, I understand where Candy coming from. I don't know if Peter is, you know, the person that we have to look to say, you know, that he's scamming these people and all. I'm sure he has a team that works for him. He probably is not sitting there working the payroll and everything. But when it gets to this point, I would imagine that Peter knows about it and would want to do something about it, because who needs more negative press around their name when, you know, it kind of seems like he always have negative press around his name. But that's the other thing, you know, he's so used to this that he might not give a fuck about Candy and her little $1,400. Now, since she's come out with this story, there have been other people, not surprisingly, but there have been other people that have also said that they've worked for Peter in the past and did not get paid. And so she is now kind of sounds like she's trying to maybe gather up those people. You know, she's told people to reach out to her and let her know, because if the more people that are coming forward and saying that they haven't gotten paid, you know, maybe they can get their money now. So she tried to open a case with the Department of Labor, and Department of Labor actually already had a case open on Peter Thomas. So there have been other people that have complained, and like I said, not surprised. Like, I've known, I don't want to say, but I mean, Peter Thomas, I've told you guys, like, there's some people that I know, he might have, child, that Peter's something else. That's all I'm gonna say, bitch. Y'all ain't fixed to be trying to get me hemmed up today. Not today. Yeah, not surprised about any of this. You know, my advice would be, Peter, just go on and pay these people before they start really bringing more attention to your businesses and shit. He seems to have a way of getting out of these things, though. And the man just continues to open his bars. So, you know, he definitely has the right people in his corner. And hopefully he can just get this girl paid, and you know, that way he can go on with his life, she can go on with her life, and the other people that, oh, my titties look big today, don't they? Yeah. Come on, titties, it's a good bra. Anyway, you guys, Peter, go on, listen. Sis said, fuck you, pay me.
Running from pain, running from strain, running from things, running from schemes.
This is not even a real story because I didn't really look it up, but you guys have told me that Miss Dania, whatever this girl name is, Jackson, Derek Jackson's ex-wife. You guys tell me after I did that damn segment on that girl last week, saying how I felt sorry for her, and it looks like, you know, she finally got her eyes open and now she's just sharing her story. Like, I was feeling bad for her. This is the only thing about being like I'm not a bleeding heart, but there are certain stories that, you know, once I hear them, you know, I feel empathy for people that are going through the things, you know, I feel sorry for people. But y'all come telling me that this girl is charging thousands of fucking dollars every single time that I start changing my mind about somebody and trying to give them a fucking chance, then shit like this happen. Okay? Now y'all telling me this girl is charging, what, $7,000 for seminars or something, so that first of all, I'm not going to knock other people that do these kind of things because, you know, there are some people that will pay for information. I mean, sometimes you do need the information from people who have done these things before so that you can, you know, so like when it comes to a business, for example, say if you're trying to start a blog and then there are people that give like master classes on the things that you would need to do. I actually just recently attended a master class for audiobooks. I'm trying to get into becoming a narrator for audiobooks. Okay. So, you know, those kind of things I'd pay my money for because the person has the information. I need the information. They had to go through whatever they went through to get, you know, to get that information. So yeah, that's something that I'd be willing to pay for. But when it comes to shit like relationships, it just feels so scammy. It feels so scammy. Because one, you could really just go buy some self-help books. Okay? Get into some reading for a fucking change. Okay? And because there's a lot of books out there that you would only pay $25 for that can help you the same way that this person is telling you for $7,000. I don't know if $7,000 is the amount. I really would hope that people are not paying that girl $7,000. I wouldn't pay $7,000 to go see Oprah. Okay? I wouldn't pay $7,000 to go see no damn body. I wouldn't even get paid that to see Barack or Michelle. You know, I love them. And I'm not paying $7,000 because why? You know? So, you know, so many people want to just sell their information instead of sharing. And the minute that you are trying to profit off of your loss, to me, it just, I don't know. So, I mean, I don't take back what I said about the girl last week, but I will say that, you know, it just feels like she's using this opportunity to try to cash in on her feelings and the things that she's been through. You know, and that people, I was just like, girl, you asking for money from these people. I mean, you had then told us that you wanted our kids to have suffer plagues and you wanted us to die 1,000 deaths and all of the things. Remember that prayer that I read to you guys before? I mean, she was really quite, not, what's the word? Not vindictive. I can't even think of the word, but she was nasty. And I still was trying to forgive the girl. Now here she come with this money. So, I don't take back what I said, but you know what, girl? Just, all I can say is, I mean, I hope you learned your lesson. I mean, I guess if people are stupid enough to be spending all this money to go see this girl talk, then, I mean, that's on y'all. I'm not going to tell you what you need to do with your money. But yeah, I'm saying you can probably buy a book about that, you know? So, yeah, that's disappointing. That's disappointing. And it makes you kind of side-eye and wonder if both of them ended up together, because like usually gravitates towards like, and maybe they're similar in a lot of their ways. It's too bad, okay? But hey, it happens. So I ain't got nothing else to say about old girl. You know, hopefully she land on her feet, you know, and that's about all I got on it, y'all.
I can't hold a frown too long. I can't stay down too long. Running from pain, running from strain.